Hey everyone, and welcome to Homes at Home. I'm Mike Holmes Jr., and today we're joined with a few special guests. We've got some members from SalDan Construction Group, and we also have someone from Habitat for Humanity. So we're going to be talking about a project that the SalDan Construction Group is working on with Habitat for Humanity, and we're going to get to know them a little bit and have some fun. If you can hear the background noise, hear that? That's jackhammering. So for anyone tuning in, if you can hear that, I know I can. I apologize for any inconveniences, but why don't we give them a warm welcome and have SalDan Construction Group and Habitat for Humanity join us right now. There's Joey, we got Sam and Katie.
Hey everyone. Good morning.
Hi everybody.
How's everyone's morning going so far? Busy.
Good to tell.
Very busy, but good.
That's good. Busy's good. Busy's good. Joey got the memo today. He's got, my dad in the background, and he's got the Make It Right shirt on.
We got everything set up here. We got the memo.
And we got the memo. I mean, everyone else looking great, don't get me wrong, but I mean, Joey gets bonus points here.
I got bonus points. Good.
Yeah.
Good job, Joey.
Yeah.
So why don't we start off by talking about this project that you're teaming up with Habitat for Humanity with?
Well, I suppose you want me to go with that one, right, Joey?
You go ahead.
This is something that we've been involved with for a while. We were approached by Katie, I don't know, a couple of years ago or so now, and Katie didn't really ask. She sort of said we needed to help her with this, and anybody who's met Katie in person will know right away that she doesn't back off on anything. When she's the person, she's a proper person for this program, because once she gets on something, she's just not gonna let go until she gets it done.
So, I like your style, Katie.
Oh yeah,
I try my best.
Yeah. We were willingly strong-armed into it, and once we got to know the program and the people involved, of course, then it becomes contagious. We started by helping a little bit, then we were helping a little bit more, then we were helping a little bit more. Next thing you know, it has become a real good and friendly working atmosphere. We are totally sold on the aspect of what we do. It is an extreme need right across the country. It's not just Sault Ste. Marie or anywhere else, as we all know. It's a worthwhile program. The people involved spend thousands of hours and thousands of hours in fundraising, and really there are times where you feel you're not even helping enough. You do everything you possibly can, and when you look back, and there's always that wonder if you could do a little bit more, and you look for more partnerships, you look for more help, and if everyone expands their own connections and horizons across the board, then of course the program will continue to succeed as it has in the last long time now. Like I said, it's been several years. I mean, we've had anyone. I'll never forget the first time I actually ever saw that was when President Jimmy Carter. That was before all of you guys were born. That was when President Jimmy Carter was actually helping to frame, and I believe it was either first or second house that Habitat ever built, and he actually had his pouch on, and he was actually helping to build the house physically. So and that always stayed with me. And when Katie approached us, of course, it was one of those things that it was well deserved. We should have gone in and done that probably, way sooner than when she asked. But it's never too late, and we're committed, and we're in it all the way.
Yeah, and you know what, Sam, that's a very good point. And for those of you who don't know, maybe we'll get Katie to speak on this a little more clearly, but I've worked with Habitat as well as my family and our crew. We've all worked together, and I felt the same way. You leave the Habitat site, and you're working on this house that is benefiting so many members of the community, and you're working with some of these members that will actually end up living there. People who volunteer, construction workers that volunteer, contractors, so many different people come out and help, and you leave feeling that there's so much more that needs to be done to help, and that you can do more to help. So Katie, maybe you can speak to that a little more.
Yeah, of course. So with the habitat builds that we do, and this is in Sault Ste. Marie and across Canada, it really is a community effort. It takes partners like SalDan, it takes partners like Holmes Approved Homes to actually build these decent, affordable units for families in need. And then these families, they participate in the build and they have to put volunteer hours in. So each family is required to put 500 volunteer hours into either the home or into the restore. And when people come to site and they're volunteering their time, they're often working alongside the people who are going to be living in these homes. So it's a really satisfying endeavor to be part of. It's also really rewarding as well, because you learn a little bit about where these families have come from. And from my perspective, when we are approving families to actually receive a habitat home, you see the homes that they're living in, and oftentimes it's not the greatest situation, but these families take such pride in where they currently live that they've made it their own home. And when they actually move into their habitat home, they're over the moon excited, because they've never had anything that's built so beautifully and so sturdy. And the cost of energy or the energy consumption's way low. So they're absolutely over the moon excited about their new houses.
Right. And I mean, talk about putting in that sweat equity, right? People are, they're actually from start to finish being involved in that project. So that it's such a cool process. And I know when I actually was volunteering, I was on site, we had our crew come out, and it's not just the build part itself that's fun, because you get to work with everyone. You get to teach people as a contractor, but then you have fun events together. You get to know each other, and then you network and you grow, and you make friends out of it. So it's a really fun event. And if any of you, whether you're from Sault Ste. Marie, Toronto, Habitat for Humanity is all across Canada and I think the US as well. Is that right, Katie?
Yeah, we're all over the world, actually.
There you go, all over the world.
I believe 76 countries across the world.
Oh, is that it? Just 76?
Just a small impact.
Yeah. So if you haven't had the chance to volunteer and work with Habitat for Humanity, look at your local, look at where the closest Habitat for Humanity homes are near you, and volunteer. It's a lot of fun. You'll learn a thing or two, maybe a skill that you can take back to your house, and you just feel good doing it. Now, we do have another part of this. It's a rapid fire question game. Before we get into that, is there anything else that any of you want to talk about, Joey, Sam, or Katie, about Habitat for Humanity that you think people should know?
Well, I can tell you, Junior, that once you meet any of the residents that get selected, and there's always, of course, one out of the so many deserving people that should. But once you meet them, that's the hardest part. You're then have the hardest time walking away. You know that you're just going to have to do it again and again and again. So that's the rewarding part. And as much as you feel good, you always have that feeling, boy, I could have done more, I could have done better, and I'm going to do it again. So that's
Right.
an everlasting.
I think especially these days, with everything that's going on, I think this program becomes even more special, even more important than any time before. I think there's a lot of people that need a lot of help. They need shelter, they need places to stay. And so I think now more than ever, this program is very important.
Yeah,
I
absolutely
100% agree with you, Joey. That's especially with the world that we're currently living in with the pandemic, having a safe, decent house to hunker down in is more important than it ever was before. So we're really happy to be part of that solution.
Yeah, so true. I mean, especially now, people, they don't have an office to go to. A lot of people are working from home. It is crucial having a roof, a well-built roof above your head.
Absolutely.
So now let's get into the rapid fire question portion of this, and let's have a little fun. So we'll start off, I'll ask these questions and you each can take turns answering. We'll start off with something a little light. What is your favorite tool?
Mine's always been a miter saw. Don't know why. Always loved the miter saw. Just, the beautiful cuts you can make with them. Always been a big fan of a miter saw. Small ones, big ones, they're all that's always been one of my favorite tools.
Yeah, it's a great tool. I can see why.
Yeah.
Well, I'm as the old guy around the screen here. The event of cordless was an unbelievable thing, and I still have my original cordless where the battery was almost bigger than the tool itself. When it first came out, it was just like your cell phone. You need two people to carry the battery, and so the first cordless I still have, and that's still it's still my favorite tool, and I still have them with the metal boxes that came in, and they were built really, really good.
I played with those a few times.
It was my cordless screwdriver set.
And it still works.
It still works.
Wow. What about you,
well,
Katie?
I am not as much of an expert as the rest of you guys in construction, but I think that the tool is called a jigsaw, and it's the one that you cut the laminate flooring pieces so that they fit around the vents.
Yeah, yeah. That's definitely, you're right. A jigsaw can do that. That's a good tool as well.
So that's my favorite one because that's the only one that with a cord I'm probably allowed to use.
and something you guys don't know, but Katie's dad is an amazing finishing carpenter.
Really? So it runs in your blood?
Somewhat, I guess. I haven't picked up all the skill sets that he has, but I'm learning.
Yeah, it takes time. It takes time,
Yeah.
Right, Joey? We know being in the family businesses.
Just like yourself, it takes time. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right. Now, speaking of the industry, how many years have you been in the construction industry? And Katie, you can speak to that as the Habitat side.
Yeah, so I've joined Habitat in 2018. So I'm 2 years in the construction industry in my professional career.
Amazing.
Well, I've done my 48. And I'm
48.
preparing for the next 40, but 40 years since SalDan has been in existence, and 8 years before that in different aspects of construction. So I can say that I successfully put in 48.
That's amazing, Sam.
He's the old one around the table.
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
If we didn't have a camera, you would have to be wondering. Unfortunately, with the camera, it gives it away.
Yeah,
we had to get him used to this Facebook Live stuff. They didn't have any of that stuff back then. So
no kidding. I know. I'm still getting used to it too, Sam. So don't worry.
Corners and use the quarter and use the payphone from every job site.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I grew up back in the days of the payphone.
Yeah.
So
myself,
and then the cell phone came out, right? There was big.
Yeah, myself's been about 16 years. Just after school, after my stint in hockey, first thing I did was go to work. So started working in the landscape crew. So it's been about 16 years now. Time flies.
Yeah, it definitely does. Now, this is an important one. What should a homeowner look for in a builder? Because a lot of people always ask us, how do I find a good builder? How do I find a good contractor? And there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of good builders. There's a lot of great builders, but there are also some bad ones. So I think this is a good question to help people navigate, how to find a good builder.
I think a good track record, some history. You want to make sure they have a good history, a good track record of happy customers. They don't have a million permits open behind them, and do some research on them, who they've worked for, talk to some past homeowners. I think a good track record of happy customers is one of the most important things for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed. Checking their references. If you find a good contractor or a good builder, talk to someone they've worked with in the past, ask them how they were to work with, how's their home now after the renovation or the build, and, ask those questions. And what do you think, Sam?
Well, I often say this with customers when the question comes up. After, like you said, longevity in Quebec, and really easy to verify anyone, even as simple as talking to your local lumber store supplier and things like that. And I'm sure that Mike Sr. can attest to this. I've been trying for 40 years to build a perfect house. We still haven't. We will not be trying. And I usually define what it will take to build perfect anything, whether it's a renovation or a new build. I will require everyone involved in the chain to have a perfect day the same day. That will go right from the person cutting the tree down in the forest to the person installing the last knob on your cabinet. Everyone in the chain must have a perfect day at the same time, and you will have a perfect home. Don't quit trying. It's not impossible. Someday it may happen. But all you can do is try for your best. And that's what your references should bring out. It should bring out nobody's perfect. You will always find, especially when you go, 48 years down the road, you have thousands of letters of reference and happy customers, and you might have a dozen of disgruntled customers for whatever reasons. It happens. There are times where you just can't make everyone happy. Most of the times, it could be the most minor things, could be disappointments of any kind. Sometimes it's outside of what a builder or renovator can even offer, but you just don't quit trying. That's
yeah.
best recipe.
I love that. Yeah, don't give up. And now, I think this is a good opportunity to talk about the Homes Approved program as well, because for people who are looking for a good builder or a good contractor, we do have a Homes Approved Builder program with some renovators on there as well. So we actually go through and we find the builders, we find the contractors. So it's not like SalDan came to us and said, hey, we want to be Homes Approved. We came to them and said, we want you to be part of our Homes Approved program because we've done our research. We found out that you're an incredible builder in the Sault Ste. Marie area. And we're trying to team up so that, homeowners, anyone watching now that is looking for a good builder can go through us and find a good builder that they can rely on. So SalDan, obviously doing great work now, doing great work with Katie, the folks from Habitat for Humanity. So those are some of the ways you can find a good builder.
Absolutely. We love the program. There's we've joined a lot of good builders who are part of this program. Committed to the motto of building right the first time. And I think the program does a fantastic job of connecting all these builders. It's almost, it's a team setting, which is great. So the third party inspections, it's a big step towards our commitment to our customers, just to build better homes. So I think it's a great place for homeowners to start their process for sure.
Yeah. And now, Katie, do you want to touch on that at all? I know you're with Habitat for Humanity, so I don't know if that's something you're comfortable speaking to.
Just, I guess, very briefly, building off what Joey and Sam said, a good track record is important, making sure that the builder you're working with, that they're taking their time, they're using quality material, meeting or exceeding the building code. Those are all things that we do at Habitat and that I know SalDan does every single day. So,
well, it's something else that the program helps with as well. There's obviously the Homes Approved products. There's a whole slew of products that are recommended. They help us as well as builders procure these products. So it's just all around. It just it puts forth using the best products and good building methods. I think it's a great program.
Yeah, and we want to partner with builders and use products that are going to have homeowners and clients that have a home that lasts a lifetime, if not more. That's the goal. So now, next question here is, why is it important that we should support Habitat for Humanity?
Well, I'll go first. Everybody comes through their struggles. Life is a struggle for everyone, and at different levels. Sometimes you may look at someone and say, "Oh, look, look, that person, they're successful," or whatever. All of that, just no one knows what goes on behind the scenes. But in everyone's mind, there is and hopefully it comes out, more often than not. There is the will to at some point in time in their life to contribute and give back some of the success and the good things that's happened to them, and that's some of that's one of our motivating factor. We've helped and supported amazing amount of good things over the years, And Habitat, like I said, ever since the Jimmy Carter advertising on TV, has always stuck with me. And sooner or later, we were going to run down that path. We've always prided ourselves of providing affordable homes. We've always, and sometimes we get criticized for building a little wee home along, in our subdivisions with all the big ones. And the reply has always been, everyone deserves to have a roof over their head. It doesn't matter what success in your life you have, and it really doesn't matter. Everyone needs a roof over their head. In our industry, there's nothing better than anyone involved in construction than to support Habitat and the need that Habitat is addressing. It's just not even a discussion. It's a must. We all need to contribute and help in that factor.
I love that, Sam. That is so beautifully said. And that message in there about not knowing what everyone is going through, not judging a book by its cover, and knowing that everyone has their own struggles. And to anyone watching, just be kind. Just be kind and help if you can. So if you can help with Habitat and donate your time, whatever you can do it. It feels great. Joey or Katie, please take the floor.
I think, if anything, if there's any program that we can, as contractors, help out, and this is it. I mean, we're all contractors. This is one of the easiest things we can help out with. We can build, so I think this is it's a great thing for us to get involved in, especially, like I said, as contractors. So yeah, as you said, anything you can do to help, if you're a supplier, anything you can do helps, to donate. So yeah, that's exactly it.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. So Sam's right on board. Joey's on board with, everyone needs a simple, decent place to live. Everyone needs a roof over their head. Unfortunately, not everyone in Canada and around the world has safe, decent, and affordable housing. And it really is the foundation on which you build your lives. So children who have safe housing, they do better in school. They go on to post-secondary education. They create better futures for themselves and their children. Families who have that stable housing, they're able to attend work more. There's so many other benefits besides just the physical location of the house and the physical structure. I've got so many stats I could rhyme off, but basically for every single dollar that someone invests into Habitat, there's a $4 return on investment to that society, to that community. So everything that Sam and Joey are doing with SalDan to help us, they're actually quadrupling their investment by working with Habitat.
Right. So really it's a selfless act. Like it's, you're helping the community, you feel good doing it, you're helping others. So if you haven't already, check out Habitat for Humanity, Sault Ste. Marie on Instagram, check out the Habitat Restore. Habitat for Humanity restores rely on their communities. Supporting your local restore helps Habitat build more homes for families in need of a safe, decent, and affordable place to live. So find the nearest Habitat Restore near you. Visit habitat.ca/restore. Check them out, support Habitat, and go volunteer. Have some fun, get your hands dirty. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. If anyone has any questions, please write in the comments below, and I will make sure to get back to the questions very soon.
Well, thank you
very much
for providing this. Really appreciate it, Junior. Pleasure meeting you.
Pleasure.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, nice to see you guys. Okay.
You too.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.